I can tell that this is some shill work is because this information has been up on my videos and short videos and videos since 2023. If you see here this one that I'm going to
5 things that make nuts best.
That, if I click on it, was done in 7th of August 2023. And yet this is somehow bullying and harassing somebody. So that at that time, that was still public information, those birth certificates. The thing that's changed is that birth certificate is now not publicly disclosed. Again, an Australian wouldn't be able to access these files. It's absurd. In 2021, no less, seeing this is a 2021 copy of a birth certificate. Why would I be doing it in 2021? I wasn't even here doing any videos in 2021. An absolute farce and a joke. But you know what? I'm still going to do this video again. I'm going to put up everything else and just exclude the copy of the certificate. And then what I'm going to do is put a link to my findings and to the copy. So then I'm not bullying and harassing a person that doesn't even exist. And regarding any of the information regarding that GP, he's deceased, and that information regarding the court case is public. So what are you going to say there? If this comes back as bullying and harassment again, I will definitely report it to something higher up. This is just a joke. But here we go. We're going to do this again. Enjoy. I think I haven't forgotten anything. All right, here we go. At this point, regarding my video on the soap dish commercial called Scrubbing for Credibility, part 1, I showed you that Nut herself has written in an email to Jason North and Samantha Cohen that she was born in 1979. Now this is blurry, but this is December 10th, 2018. She says that Dora left Tom when Megan was 2 years old, and the older children, so Tom Jr. was 15, and Sam or Yvonne was 17. So considering their date of births, the Yvonne's and Tom's, that would put, and then that was 2 years old, so you deduct that 2 years, it would be 1979 in August of that year. So you'd also have to consider the fact that Yvonne was turning, her date of birth, her month is in November when she was born. So she would always be turning an age, which is important to note because I'm going to show you something. There are a lot of people who protect Bauer and his credibility for his book, which is just as equal in rubbish to Lady C's book and to Andrew Morden's book and to any royal quote expert unquote that has written these narratives out to make you believe that they're true. But Bauer himself has said that Nut's date of birth year was 1977, and the reference of 6, if you see there, is an interview with Yvonne Samantha Markle. So he's getting it from Samantha Markle. So when people say, oh, but, she's already said she was 14 at the time when Nut was born. So that already is 1979 because she'll be turning 15 that year. So that would be 1979 because she was born in 1964. So anyway, in this excerpt, Bauer talks about how Doria has just brought home a baby, a newborn baby, and she's been able to set up a company, including the baby, because she's got time up her sleeve, just so much time up her sleeve that she's not having to take care of a newborn baby. It makes perfect sense. Samantha or Yvonne is jealous, da 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 da. And he says that Samantha is now 13. Now, Yvonne's birthday is in late November, late November 1964. So that would mean she was 12 years old and she's now 13. Now that, it's later on in the year, and Doria has a company and she's getting annoyed and jealous, etc., etc. So she would have been 12 when, at least that year, if Nut was to be born in that year. 12 years old from 1960, turning 13 that year from 1964 is 1977. So we've got 1979 or we've got 1977. Nut has said 1979, and Samantha Yvonne Markle has said, and Bauer has said 1977. The reason why I bring this up regarding 1977 and 1979 births is because of the certificate and the layout and all the details and questions and sections in the certificate that's actually been provided in 2021, because it's very different to what the law stipulated was required before 1980. Roughly introduced around 1978, these new bills and these new requirements of information in the certificates in California. So this link I will put up to this post, I will put up on in the pinned comment, so you can take a look at the actual certificate yourself, or you can look up any other social media account that's following this now. If you just go into your search engine, and you'll find people that have copied the information and used it for their own benefit. So you can always find that now as public information, and yet here I am. So I will put a link through on the pinned comments, and we will carry on debunking this once again.
That make Nut's birth certificate fake. 5 things that make Nut's birth certificate fake. The doctor wasn't operating his business by August 1981. Tom Markle would have been 37 years old, not 36 as stated. Doria would be 24 years old, not 25 as stated. The doctor lied saying it was 37 years ago, which would have been May 1982. And the certificate numbers are usually 11 digits with year of birth. 5 things that make...
I've also proven in this video here called Doctor Who in my videos that Melvis Martin, the GP, his signature is not true on the birth certificate that's presented. Let me show you. So this is the article that I'm just going to fast forward it. The actual... You can go through and watch it all. Okay, we're up to here. It's just another one, and this is what I found out a bit later on into my research, that the license number is correct. As I said here, so this is under Roscoe Boulevard, so this was under the West Park Hospital. Can you see here, November 1978 was when it was issued. So they're even lying as to when he arrived in California. I'm guessing possibly it could be to hide the real birth date. The fact that this was taken to his grave and it's in his obituary is quite nuts. So yeah,
But you can see here, this is his actual signature. I took this from a legal document in one of his court cases where he had to confirm that he was qualified to be a doctor, and that he completed his bachelor degree at Albert Einstein of Medicine in New York, and then did the residency kind of work experience afterward. So you can see how he signs here. Oh, why have I got that up? Oh yeah, so this is the whole lie that in 1979 he moved in LA when he's already got the license by 1978. Where is it? But you can see here, this is where, right next to the G38477 is where his signature is meant to be. This is the section where you're signing and putting your name and address down and your license number to say you were the one who attended the birth of this child. Blacked out is the signature right next to the license number. However, there's this big squiggle of an S, which is not even a part of his signature. So this is not his signature at all. If you have a look here, you can see there. So there's that. And I think that's about it.
Now I've set the stage for you. So we've looked at now where it's either a 1977, 1979 birth year for Nut. And there are a lot of discrepancies with the birth certificate of Nut that has been provided. I think it was by TMZ or one of those terrible gossip rags. Now, the reason for that context is because in 1978, the birth certificate that you see now was introduced, and by 1980, the laws in California had changed. And what it means by that was there were things such as like marital status. There were details in the, if you see here, it says okay, in its original form, the bill would have reduced the certificate to only those facts necessary to establish the fact and circumstances of birth, with no information on race and no medical or health data. I know that it turned out to be these questions were optional. Information provided would be optional, but that there were things that didn't need to be included anymore from the 1980 version of the birth certificate. So not included are questions on education, APGAR score, induced terminations, number of prenatal visits, or marital status. Only those questions specified in law are permitted, with questions relating to drug or alcohol abuse specifically prohibited. Now, that all changed around 1978, 1979 to 1980, and you can see it in the laws in California. So if you go down to 2010 California Code, Health and Safety Code, Article 2, Content of Certificate of Live Birth, Section 102425 to 102475. The certificate of live birth for any live birth occurring on or after January the 1st, 1980 shall contain those items necessary to establish the fact of the birth and shall contain only the following information: full name and sex of the child, date of birth, including month, day, hour, year, place of birth, full name of the father, birthplace, full birth name of the mother, birthplace, multiple births, signature and relationship to the child of a parent or other informant, and date signed. name, title, mailing address, etc., etc. So you can see here they've completely simplified it from 1980 onwards. That was not the case prior. Now I advise you to go back to that link and have a look at that certificate copy and have a look for yourself about what information is depicted there and what's been disclosed. It proves that for a 1977 or a 1979 birth, that would not be the birth certificate. And that would not be the copy provided to anyone who has requested a copy from the Californian government. That would mean Newsom is involved, Dean C. Logan is involved, seeing he's signed for it. The whole Californian government and American government is involved. And it's not anything to do with Nut's dirty little relationships with them. She can't screw the entire government, can she? I mean, she can try, but I don't think that's what's happened here. So I've given you the discrepancies already initially in the certificate copy. Then I've given you the law that was changed by 1980. And now I urge you to have a look at the copy yourself and see that it would be completely invalid. And what would that mean? That would mean then that all documentation regarding marriages and children's birth certificates would be completely illegitimate and fraudulent, and that this whole narrative is fraudulent again and again and again and again. So we're starting off with this, and then I'm going to, continue on and develop this entire construct of this entire narrative. Thank you.